What's going on, Grizz Nation? Welcome into another Grizz Game Day update. The Grizzlies are in Portland, finishing out their West Coast trip. Hopefully going 2-2, not 1-3. Joining me from Portland is Brooke Olzendam, who probably wants us to go home 1-3. Yeah,
nothing personal, but it's been a weird week because, like, as you guys know, like 4 days off, like at the beginning of a season, well, if any part of a season is bizarre and weird. And so it was kind of like a momentum, hopefully not a momentum pauser, at least for the Blazers, because they've been playing so well. Only one loss on the season. So the time off has been positive in a way that guys get to rest, including, Damian Lillard, who has been out for us. He'll be out tonight. So that was, I guess, the positive. Has some more rest to recoup and get better. But yeah, it's kind of like things were rolling and then they're like, okay, chill for 4 days. So it's been weird. But the guys I know are very excited to get back. So they're just looking forward to playing. It's because it's been so long. So as always, when we play, you guys, it's a battle. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be fun.
Always a battle. Now, 4 days is very strange. And so, like you mentioned, Dame is still out. So that means probably Anfernee Simons, who really is the second leading scorer on this team. He's averaging just over 20 points a game. Does he fit seamlessly into the starting lineup, or is he a guy who's better kind of in, like, how there is some guys who are just better off the bench?
No, he's been a starter for us, alongside Dame this year. He is, okay. Yeah, they go back and forth, and it's really taken a lot of pressure off of Dame because, as you guys have seen over the past decade, he's been the go-to guy for the Blazers, and so it's kind of like double team, triple teamed at times. So it's nice to have another offensive threat alongside of him. And then some of the pieces that we added along, and I'll get back to Anfernee because he's been fantastic, but bringing in Jeremy Grant this year and having Josh Hart come in towards the end of last year. Also, I mean, with our couple games, we've had Dame, get double teamed and defer to Jeremy for the game winner. The other night, he did the same with Anfernee. So it's kind of nice that he has, and he talked about it afterwards with me, he has trust in his teammates. He doesn't feel like he has to put everything on his back. So as of right now, of course you want Dame on the floor, at least the Blazers, want Dame on the floor. But I was gonna say, maybe you don't want Dame on the floor.
We want Dame healthy. We do. Everybody wants Dame healthy.
It's good for the game and good for him. But Anfernee is just, he's been a success story in my mind from day one. He came 19 years old. Coming from an academy, and he was just bright-eyed and kind of like scared to death. Couldn't get a word out of him, and just wasn't sure what his role was. And then last year with our new coaching staff, Chauncey Billups really, saying, hey, man, you got to be more vocal as a leader. You got to be a bigger part of this team, and we want you to. You can. We have the confidence in you. We just need you to show us that you have the confidence in yourself. And I laughed with him last week because last year, he was supposed to do address the media on the first home game. And the last second, he's like, I can't do it. And made Dame do it. Yeah. And so Dame's like, this is supposed to be Anfernee, but whatever. This year, Anfernee got up there and did it, and he knocked it out of the park. And I was like, look how far you've come. You're grown up. So he's grown up as a man, and like they're talking to us media wise, and he's grown up on the floor. And I mean, the other night, he lost his mind in the third quarter, 7 3-pointers. He couldn't miss. It was just like watching an out-of-body experience. It's like he was having an out-of-body experience. So at any moment he can score. He's got a beautiful shot, and the whole team has obviously a ton of confidence in Dame. But when Dame's not able to play, they have that same level of confidence in Anfernee.
Yeah, he really has been on fire. I haven't watched the games, but I've seen all. Like, I went and looked at our box scores before we got here, and I was like to be the second leading scorer when you have scorers on the team, like Jeremy Grant used to be a leading scorer on 2 different teams. So that is really cool. You brought up 3-pointers. So this is what I want to bring up for us, because the Grizzlies defense, or lack of defensive intensity, has put them at the bottom of the league in terms of defensive ratings. They're 30th. And it has led to a ton of threes, 34 threes in the last 2 games by the Jazz. The Grizzlies lost both games to the Jazz. Portland, though, although they're bottom of the league, like they're 23rd, 25th in 3-point attempts, like you said, they have the ability to get hot from deep. Do you think that's going to be like a key tonight?
That's a really interesting point, because we've been talking about one of the trends this season is not relying solely on the 3, because that's been the culture, mentality. We're a 3-shooting team, and we've been very successful at it. Back when CJ McCollum was on the team, and obviously Dame's a great 3-point shooter. So that's kind of been the bread and butter. So it's been so interesting, and I'll just say fun to watch this team evolve in terms of taking it strong to the rack, looking for a mid-range. So it's not necessarily like we're going out there to not take as many threes. Like, let's not do, we're not, it's just that their ability, they have the ability to get other shots up. So it's been fun. It's a more fast-paced style of play. Our defense has come leaps and bounds from the last couple of years. I mean, defense has always been a struggle for the Blazers for the most part. And now it's like defense leading to offense. We talk about it all the time, and which is just a momentum changer, you know. Steal on the break the other night. It was crazy. Our rookie, Shaedon Sharpe, who hasn't been looking like a rookie, he's been starting while Dame's been out, and Anfernee, you know, moved into the one. But Shaedon Sharpe on this fast break, Keon Johnson raced down. I don't know how he did it, but beat the defender. This guy, he was running down to defend, and he beat him in the air, turns around as he's flying out of bounds, throws an alley-oop to Shaedon, who just tomahawks it, his head above the rim. And you know, that those sort of plays really lend themselves to momentum, because you're seeing it on both ends of the floor. And then, mind you, the next time, that was the second one. That was right after he had another one. He had Jeremy tossed it to him. So he had two just crazy dunks in a row. And that hasn't been something the Blazers fans have seen recently. We were joking, but I don't think we are joking. There have been more lobs in the first like handful of games than we've seen in the last few years. So it's a different style of offense than the Blazers have relied on in terms of 3-point shooting. So that's a good point. Maybe tonight Chauncey has a game plan that he sees that, you know, threes could be the winning shot tonight, and maybe we'll see more of them. But if they're not falling, they have other weapons.
Well, yeah. And if the threes aren't falling, or if there isn't that many 3 attempts, it's going to be a dunk contest tonight, because if Shaedon Sharpe's out there getting, I mean, you guys are second in fast break, so you're going to get a dunk at some point, a fast break dunk. And you know, playing the Grizzlies, he's available tonight. He's going to get a dunk too. So like, the fans are in for something fun.
That's what we talked about last game when we were previewing this one, which was 5 nights ago, saying it's going to be not necessarily, a dunk fest, but just a jump fest, a bounce fest, which to have one of those on each side of the wall on each team is, you never know what you're going to see. So I think it's going to be super entertaining. And I love watching Ja. He's one of my favorite players to watch on another team. And so I look forward to who knows what we'll see tonight with sheer athleticism. And Anfernee Simons, who was our bounciest, I would say. And I was talking to him the other day. He's like, I have to give my crown. I don't have the reign anymore. That is definitely Shaedon Sharpe. So yeah, we're going to see some athleticism tonight.
Yes. I'm just going to give a quick update. Desmond Bane, Jake LaRavia, and Steven Adams are all questionable for the Grizzlies tonight. And I think Josh Hart is questionable.
He's questionable. Yeah. Concussion protocol. He got fouled. One of those where you fall back on your body and then your head, you know, smacks the ground. It looked painful, but he went through the real protocol at the time, and he passed. And then later he started feeling like kind of weird, like some headache stuff. So they went through it again, and it's questionable. So he's been running around, like they've had practices and he's been out there, but I don't know. Chauncey most recently yesterday, we talked to him about it practice, and he said still questionable. So probably if he can go, he'll go, but it all comes down to if he's able to play.
You have to be careful with concussions.
Oh, absolutely.
My very last thing. If Steven Adams plays, talk to me about the matchup between Steven Adams and Nurkic, probably the two biggest, strongest dudes in the league.
And sassiest. I love this matchup. It's one of my favorites because Nurk is an emotional player, and it would appear Steven Adams is as well. And so you get those two just beasts down low, but you know, it's just fun to watch because that's like old school basketball to me, you know, watching those guys. And Nurk has been great. He was our post-game interview last game. He had 25 and 17, and he's really effective when he takes his time, backs down his defender, and really focuses on finishing. You know, sometimes you have this big body, you think it's, just go in there and just, it shouldn't be that bit difficult. But sometimes he gets like his feet get ahead of himself and kind of tosses it up, and he's worked so hard to get the position. So when he just takes his time and really focuses on finishing strong, that's what we saw last game and have seen it a lot this season. So I think it's going to be a fun one down low. We got all the storylines. We got the athletes, dunk fest, and then we have two bigs down low. We're going to be battling, and probably little John at each other too. So that'll be really fun to watch. And yeah, Nurk has been really consistent, which is great. And I think he likes to, when there's a competition like that, I think kind of ups his game and wants to show what he's got. So we should be entertained. Yes. Yes.
The game is at 9:00 p.m. if you're watching from Memphis. If you're watching from Portland, at 7 p.m.
Mhm.
And you can watch it on Bally Sports and the Bally Sports Plus app. So Brooke, thank you once again for the 100th time for coming on and telling us about your team. Appreciate you.
I love it. Yeah. Next time when we're there, let's do it in person if we can.
I would love that.
Okay, we'll do it.